Data consolidation is consolidating data in various sheets. Those sheets can reside in a single file, or those sheets can reside in separate files. Let me illustrate this. First of all, I'd like to close this file, so I'm going to press the key combination Ctrl W, which closes a window. I'm asked if I'd like to save, so I'll just choose Don't Save for now. I'm now going to open up a new file by pressing Ctrl N for a new blank document. I'm also going to open 3 other files that I've provided. So I'm going to press Ctrl O for open. And if I browse, I can go and find where I've put these files. And the files I'd like you to open are Rotorua, Taupō and Tauranga. And I'll choose Open. I'll just move them into View. And I've got 4 files open. Now what I'd like to do is see all 4 files on my screen. So I'm just going to resize them slightly. Now I'm going to say to you, you can actually choose to go to View and Arrange All. And that will tile them all on your screen. The problem with me is I have a very large screen. And if I was to arrange all, they'll all disappear. So I'm just going to manually arrange them on my screen, just by resizing and moving them. Okay, and just one more. Now, having arranged these 4 files on my screen, I would like to, in the blank new workbook, and particularly A1, I'd like it to go to Data in the ribbon. You can just see it. This is a button that is called Consolidate, and you'll find it under the Data Tools group, or in the Data Tools group. So I'll go to Data and then I'll choose Consolidate. Now the whole idea here is you choose which function you'd like to use, and you have the choice of sum, count, average, and others that you're familiar with. I'm just going to stick with sum. Now I click on the reference field and I go off with my mouse and choose my first reference. I'm going to start with Taupō. I'll click on the Taupō workbook and then I'll drag and select the range B1 to C14. Having chosen Taupō, B1 to C14, I'll click the Add button, and that's my first reference. Now using my mouse, I'll click on Rotorua, and I'll choose B1 to C14 in Rotorua. That's my second reference, so I'll click Add. And thirdly, I'll click on Tauranga, and I'll select B1 to C14, and Add. So I've got 3 references here, the Rotorua file, the Taupō file, and the Tauranga file, B1 to C14. Now I'd like to use the top row, which contains last name and actual. I'd like to use the top row as labels, so I'll tick this option. I'd also like to use the left column, which in this case would be B1 to B14, also as labels. And I'd like to create links in this consolidated file back to the Rotorua, Taupō and Tauranga files. So there'll be a link. So if the source data changes in any one of these 3 other files, it'll be carried through to this consolidated sheet. So I'll tick this option and I'll click OK. Now let's just expand this a little bit so we can see better. The whole idea here is it's brought through the top row actual as a label, and it's brought through the first column as labels also. I can also see a series of plus signs, and I can also see a 1 and 2. If I was to hit the 2, I would expand what I'm seeing here. It's automatically brought through Rotorua, Taupō and Tauranga as the names of the files. It's also, when I click on any particular cell, I can see but a formula linking back to the Rotorua file and the cell C2. So if the Rotorua file and the cell C2, let's click over here, should change, that change should carry through to the consolidated sheet. So I'll change this to 2000, and when I press enter, I now see 2000. if I change it back to 1450, it changes back to 1450, which of course affects the subtotal for Egan, and as you can see they're all linked. If I hit the 1 in the left margin, I'll collapse down to just seeing the subtotals. So there is an element of conformity in the layout between the various sheets. But if you had a sheet for each region, or a sheet for each week, or a sheet for each site, and you needed to consolidate those into the entire regions or the entire year, then you could use the consolidation feature in the data tab in the ribbon.